Are you ready to achieve your dreams through financial freedom? If so, let's begin. Welcome back to The Obedient Life. My name is Noel, and this week we're beginning a series of videos going over the 10 steps that we use to achieve financial freedom. These steps allowed us to strengthen our relationship with God and afforded us the ability to follow our dreams by simply being obedient to what the Bible tells us about money and possessions. They taught us what real generosity and surrender looks like, and we've never been happier. Our goal is to share what we've learned so you're able to receive the same blessings of peace and joy. And so, like many others, we've been through a lot of struggles and we've mismanaged money. If you haven't seen our previous video, I've added a link up here and in the description so that way you can see what I'm talking about. If you're here, then you're probably seeking how to take control of your finances or get out of debt. The first thing you need to know and to do is just stop. Stop acquiring more debt. You can't dig your way out of a hole. It's been my experience that when most people are struggling with debt and bills, the income is not the problem. It's a spending problem. It's like struggling with your weight because of the amount of cake you eat. The problem is not the cake sitting there. The problem is how much you're eating. Most of these problems come from a lack of education. In America, we were never shown, or still are not shown, how to manage money, both in school and or at home. It has been just the opposite. Society has encouraged us to spend money and to use debt and financing to get what we want. So, how do we fix this? Well, we fixed it by following these 8 simple steps. Each step will basically have its own video and we'll get into detail with every step. I'll go ahead and release one video every week so that way it's easier to follow along. So step number 1 was how we had to change our relationship with money. This is what we call a money mind reset. I will go over how we were basically programmed to be consumers and use debt to get what we want instead of saving for it. And then in step number 2, we'll discuss an emergency fund and a budget. I will share with you the fastest way that we were able to get the initial emergency fund going, which then freed us up to organize our income like a little army to begin using it in our budget. The budget we used was based on biblical principles. It was the foundation we built everything on. A strong foundation stands the test of time. Jesus built his church on the rock, and so did we. We all fall short. And this foundation always gives you an opportunity to rise again. In step number 3, we started attacking debt by using the debt snowball. Since we stopped basically building more debt, we were now able to use our income army to start attacking the existing debt. One by one, each bill fell. That allowed us to now redirect that army to the next bill, and then the next bill, until all the bills were gone. Then it allowed us to step into step number 4. Step number 4, we beefed up our emergency fund to cover a 3 to 6 month window, or 3 to 6 months of what we call the 4 walls. You're probably asking yourself, a what? 4 what? 4 walls. These are the most important bills that you have to pay. Number 1 being your mortgage or your rent, because let's face it, you need a place to stay. Number 2 is basically utilities, because you need utilities like water and electric, right? Number 3 is food, because you need to eat. And then number 4 is transportation, because let's face it, you need to get to work, because that is the place you're going to go to make the money to pay your bills. Once you're able to do that, get your 3 to 6 months, because hey, you've now paid off all your other bills and you have the extra money to build up that savings, and you're going to self-insure. Which leads me to step number 5, which is contributing up to 15% of your monthly earned income into a retirement fund. Now, some of you may work for a company that provides matches to all your contributions. At a minimum, I would start with contributing as much as they're matching, because if you don't do that minimum, that's like throwing money away. For instance, if they're willing to match up to 3% of your contributions of your income, then match 3%. Contribute 3% of your income into that savings account. Because if you don't, then you're losing that additional money. Make sense? That brings me to number 6, contributing to your child's college fund. Now, some of you may be asking, why am I contributing to retirement before my kid's college fund? Well, simply, it's a 100% chance that you're going to have to retire, and then you're going to get too old to work. It's only about a 50% chance that your children are going to attend college. So that's number 1. Number 2, there's so many programs and scholarships out there where millions of dollars are left on the table that no one claims. Now, when we go over this particular step, I'll direct you to those resources so you can do a little research and see where those dollars are and where all that free money is. Thirdly, look, there's a lot of careers out there that you don't have to attend college to earn a 6-figure salary. So why? Look, at the end of the day, if your child decides they want to go to college, we want them to go debt-free. We don't want them to start their lives carrying an anchor around. And we'll get into the college thing when we get to that step. At the same time, first and foremost, you're going to retire. And you're going to need to not have to worry about where that money's going to come from when you're no longer able to work. After we get that all established, we're moving on to step number 7. Step number 7 is when we throw all that money at the mortgage. And this is amazing because you've paid off all your debt. You've put money toward, you have a fully funded emergency fund, 3 to 6 months. You're putting towards your retirement so you don't have to worry about when you can't work anymore. You're putting money towards a kid's college fund, one that preferably you have control over, and we'll get into that as well. Now at step 7, you're taking all that money, that money that has been freed up, and you're going to start throwing it at your mortgage. This is to pay your mortgage down. This is so you can get out of that mortgage a lot faster than the full 30 or 15-year term that you have under it. Now, I just want you to think about this for a moment. Think about what it would be like not to have a mortgage. Think about all that money that you're going to be able to save and put to something else. The things you could do, which leads me to step number 8. This is where we have the most fun. This is where we were able to go ahead and bless others, to be generous messengers of God, and to basically step into the life that God has for us and has had for us the entire time. Okay? By this time, and when you reach this step, you have found peace and rest and fulfillment and contentment in your life. You're not just living or chasing a dream, but you're blessing others, and giving all that glory to God for softening your heart and giving you the ability to do all these things. You get to live the obedient life. Now, if all these things excite you and you're looking forward to the next video when we start diving into these steps, I ask that you go ahead and hit that subscribe button below. Click the little bell icon so that way you can get notified when our next video is coming out. If you're married, send your spouse this video. If you have a friend or a family member who you want to be your accountability partner, or if you think someone can benefit from all these steps, go ahead and share this video with them. Also, if you found this content to be helpful, please give us a thumbs up. It helps us get this message out to others. You can also check us out on some of our other social media websites that I've linked below in the description. I've also placed our email in the description in case you have any questions about the things that we're covering during this series. I hope that this message and this video blesses you, and we'll see you next time.